Hey, happy Saturday. So this is weird. I have never done a live on a Saturday before. I'm usually still in my PJs and chilling in front of the fireplace with my coffee. The nice thing is I slept in until 8:09 this morning, which is unheard of. I took some Benadryl last night. My allergies were bothering me, so I think that has a little something to do with it. But anyway, today we're going to be discussing day one of the Rediscover Me challenge. In case you missed it yesterday, I said that the coffee chats are actually going to work a day behind the actual exercise, or actually, yeah, a day behind. That was really confusing my head there for a minute. Okay, so anyway, we are going to talk about the previous day's exercise. That way everybody's had a chance to go through it, and I can share just a little bit of additional discussion insights. I've got my goal setting worksheet all printed out here and filled out, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. I'm going to talk to you about this little contraption that I'm wearing right now. So it's the source of endless jokes for Craig. He loves to joke about it. He asks me if I'm going on a hike or if I'm going to school, because it looks like I'm wearing a backpack. But it is a posture corrector, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute because it's related to my goals worksheet. But anyway, yeah, he loves to make jokes about all my wacky ideas, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, back to goal setting. So yesterday's first exercise that we did was about setting some goals for the year ahead. And we're going to revisit these throughout the year. And I explained that the first week of Rediscover Me is really about so much goal setting. We're like pouring everything we have into setting goals. So it gets a little bit overwhelming at times, and you're going to think, okay, are we ever going to stop setting goals and actually work on them? Yes, we do. Rest assured. Anyway, if you're on the live today, wave at me, say hi. Hello, check in. I want to hear where you're tuning in from, because I would normally be having my coffee in front of the fireplace on a Saturday morning. So I appreciate that you guys are here. And also, can I ask you for a huge, huge favor? If you are doing the Rediscover Me challenge and you're enjoying it or you're getting something valuable out of it, I would love for you guys to share it with your friends or with your mom's groups, or with somebody that you would like to do the challenge with, maybe your sister or your best friend or your neighbor or someone, because I think it's really good for us to have accountability in real life too. We have our private group that we do this with, but I love the real life accountability and being able to work through the challenge with somebody. So please tag your friends or share the link with them to sign up. It's getyourprettyon.com/new-you. And again, you can sign up at any time. Don't worry, you're not behind. You can always work through the exercises in your own time. You can get caught up if you want to. But I would love for you guys to invite some people to do it with you. Okay, so we're going to move on to today's exercise and discussion. And we kicked off day one with goal setting and getting to our deeper why behind our goals. I just think this is so important. So if you watched the video yesterday, I talked about one of my goals, which was 4 years ago whenever I first started this challenge, and that was to help our son pay for college. And I explained why this goal was important to me and dug into the deeper why behind it and how it was about, I had student loan debt coming out of college, and Craig had student loan debt, and I felt like it limited our choices when we were coming out of college, and I felt like I was forced to take a job that I didn't want at the time, which happens, right? I learned a lot from that job. It was a year long before I left, but it was really challenging in a lot of ways, and I don't want our kids to feel saddled with tons of debt and feel like they have to make desperate decisions to do that. So one of my goals for that year was to be able to help Devin out so he didn't have to take out as many loans. So I explained that the deeper why is something that you ask yourself, okay, so you set your goal and then you start digging, like, why is this important to me? And the first why that you hit upon is usually not the real why. You have to keep going deeper than that. So let's just take, for example, I want to lose weight, because I know that that's a goal that a lot of us set at the beginning of a year. And digging into the deeper why behind that, maybe your initial why is because I want to feel good in my clothes, which is a noble goal, but there's something deeper than that. And you have to keep going deeper. Well, why do I want to feel good in my clothes? Because when I look in the mirror, I want to see the best version of myself every day. Well, why do I want to be the best version of myself every day? Because I want to set a really good example for my daughters, or, eventually you're going to get to that why that just hits you right here. And when you do, sometimes you might even get teary-eyed over it. That's your why. I do the Hallmark card test with this. So whenever I'm picking a greeting card out for a loved one, I will read the cards until I hit the one that brings the tears to my eyes, and then I know that that's the card. So this is kind of the same thing. The one that really hits you in your heart and gives you those feels, that's the why. Write that why down. And if you don't get to that why, the goal is not going to be as important to you. I really believe that we have to get to this. This is getting to the why is what's going to get you over the hump. It's what's going to reignite you when you start to lose steam and motivation. And it's just so important to dig deep, and please do not skip this step. It's super important. So the first thing you're going to do is state your goal. The second thing you're going to do is state your why. The third thing you're going to do is state your how, because you have to have a plan for how you're going to make this goal happen. And maybe sometimes this is where you start with your baby steps, and you write in there, if let's just say, for instance, that you want to get your finances in order. Well, maybe the first thing you need to do is figure out where you're at, so you know where you're going. So, maybe you sit down and you make a spreadsheet of all of your expenses and income and figure all that out. Or maybe you make a phone call to a financial planner. But there are always baby steps in your goal for your how and how you're going to make it happen. And then lastly, and this again is super important, I don't want you to skip this. I don't want you to skip number 2, state your why, or number 4, state your as if, because these are Jedi mind tricks. Stating your goal as if it's already happened is super powerful to your mind. I know people who actually write their goals out with pen and paper every single morning as if they've already happened. So stating your as if, you're going to state it as if your goal already occurred. So I've lost 10 pounds and it feels so good. I love what I see when I look in the mirror. I have more energy and I feel better than I have in years. So this is really a 4-step process, and I'm going to walk you through some of my goals. We're going to start out with my contraption. And this might seem like a silly goal to you, but I've been doing goal setting for years and years and years. I've knocked out most of the big goals that I've wanted to do, but of course they keep refreshing every year. And when you look at this, you can look at it from the perspective of, what's most important to you right now? Is it a health and wellness goal? Is it a financial goal? Is it a relationship goal? Is it a self-care goal? Is it maybe a goal related to your career, or what your next chapter of life looks like? It can be a mixture of these goals. It doesn't really matter. It just has to be really important to you so that you're going to stick with it. But this goal was something that I didn't even realize I had until a few weeks ago. And it's funny because people have been telling me for years that my shoulders are rounded and I've had so much upper back pain. If I don't go for a monthly massage, I sometimes can't lift my hands any higher than this because I have so much tension in my upper back. And every time I get a massage, my therapist says, you need to be doing your stretching. You sit at a desk all day, you're hunched over it like this with your shoulders rounded. You need to be sitting in a more ergonomic position with your shoulders back. And I just have blown it off. Honestly, I've blown it off for years now. And then I had 2 trainers at Orange Theory pull me aside when I was coming off the treadmill and asking me why I was so rounded in my shoulders and back when I was running. And they explained to me that, it's easier to run with your shoulders back because you're opening your lungs up and you can get your breath in easier. And there's all these good benefits to it. And again, I blew them off too. I was like, there's nothing, I'm fine. And then Craig said something to me a few weeks ago. It's funny how sometimes it has to get around to your loved one saying, hey, maybe there's something to this. So he said, I did notice that when you're on the treadmill, you really round your shoulders and you're leaned over, and you should try it just holding your shoulders back one time. And I did, and I couldn't. So I knew that I needed to do something more drastic to help improve this. So I did some research and I bought this little brace, posture corrector, on Amazon a few weeks ago. And I put it on and I started working, and I was like, I can't even round my shoulders. It's such a different position to hold myself in. And while I was doing this research about all of this, like both of my parents have back problems. My dad's had some surgeries. My mom needs a surgery. She's got some degenerative discs going on. And I read that, you know, if you continue sitting like this over a period of several years, that it can lead to much more serious conditions. So that really kicked me in the tail end to take care of this. So I ordered the posture corrector. It came with this little pamphlet. So I'm going to demo for you real quick, just in case this is something you're interested in. But when you put the posture corrector on, it automatically holds your shoulders back. So you can't round like this when you're working. But you're supposed to sit up straight with both feet flat on the floor. And you guys probably already know this. I can't believe that it didn't occur to me sooner. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I can't beat myself up. This is a self-judgment-free zone. Don't beat yourself up over the things you did not know or practice before you start this. So that's me giving myself a taste of my own medicine. All right, so sit up straight, both feet flat on the floor, knees bent at a 90 to 100 degree angle. And you should have a straight line from your hip all the way to your shoulder. So when you set up your desk, if you work at a desk all day long, you sit like this first, and you're supposed to have several inches of space between your tailbone and the back of your chair. So you're not actually leaning on the chair, you're just sitting up nice and straight. And then you should be able to comfortably reach your keyboard without leaning in or bending over, and reach your mouse. So I had to readjust everything on my desk and move my laptop forward and all that good stuff to be sure that I was aligning properly. And I've been wearing this every day when I'm at my laptop. I take it off when I'm going about my day and doing things. But the cool thing is that at first, the first few days I did this, I was sore because you have all this muscle memory and your muscles are like, hey, let's hunch over. Let's do that again. That thing feels better because I'm so used to doing it. But now I've got these sore muscles from holding my shoulders back. And that soreness when I take the brace off is what reminds me to stand up straight. So I've been trying to remind myself several times throughout the day to keep doing this. And I know if I do this long enough, it's going to become a habit. So anyway, back to the goal setting. I just totally went off on a different tangent, right? All right. Anyway, so my goal was to improve my posture this year. My why is because I want less back pain, which is a great why. I want to stand up straighter, and I want to prevent long-term conditions. And I think that was really my bigger why, is like, I don't want to be debilitated when I'm older. I want to be able to keep up with everything. I want to be able to continue to travel and do all the things that I love to do. And I want grandkids someday, and I want to be able to run around and chase my grandkids and just be in great shape and not have any disorders or conditions that are going to slow me down. And that's really my deeper why. My how is I'm going to wear my brace every day when I'm sitting at my desk. So my how is really specific. So if I'm working and I'm sitting here, I need to have this on. And I'm going to remain more aware of my posture throughout the day as well. And my as if is my posture is straight and tall, and I'm free from pain. Not only does it feel better, but I look more confident too. So bonus, right? Okay, so we're going to use my second goal now. So this one's a little bit more personal. And that is something that I'm doing right now, and that's being more visible. I think I've shared with you guys before, I am a natural introvert, and this is actually hard for me to talk about because I'm practicing it right now. Okay, so I'm a total introvert. I'm shy. I prefer to have my cups of tea and coffee and stay in my little cozy cave with my books all day long. But that has not boded well for the type of business that I do, and being out there, being a blogger and sharing advice and information and all that good stuff requires me to be in front of the camera, whether it's for outfit pictures or videos or social media or whatever. And I tend to, you know, like hide from the world because I used to be painfully shy. Like when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I was super, super shy, like to the extent that I didn't even want to go bowling with Craig on a date one time because that was like too visible to me. I didn't want people seeing me like bowling or trying something new for the first time. But I've come out of my shell over the years because, number one, I had to. It was just not benefiting me in any way. And as I worked in corporate America and worked with the public, it's become more and more comfortable to me. And I feel like that's one of those things I had to sort of overcome in order to have a career. And I wanted to be a writer. I could have done that, like stayed in my study all day long, but unfortunately I was not making a living at that. So, but anyway, I'm glad, I'm happy that I've been able to overcome it in a lot of areas, yet retain the good things about introversion. Introversion is not a bad thing, people. If you're an introvert, celebrate it, because you are a creative and you have all these wonderful attributes that society sometimes does not appreciate. I'm going to get on a soapbox and get passionate about this. We, like introverts, unite separately, right? So yes, there are so many good things about being an introvert, but there are a few things that I had to learn how to deal with, and being more visible is one of them. Okay, so back to my goal. And my deeper why for this is because, number one, I think it's super important for us to get out of our comfort zones all the time. If you are stagnating in your life, or you feel like you're not growing at all, then I think the first question you need to ask yourself is, have I gotten out of my comfort zone lately? Because if the answer is no, then you're not growing. And growth, personal growth and development is huge for me. And I'm always pushing it on everyone around me. Like, I feel like I have to be a life coach to everybody that I meet, which is so bad and wrong because they're not asking for my advice. And sometimes I just give it. Like, I went and got my hair done yesterday, and the girl that was doing my hair said, I was talking to her, she's like, what do you have going on this weekend? I said, oh, well, our daughter is getting initiated into her sorority, and we're going to a brunch this weekend, and I wanted to get in and get my hair done. And she's like, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. She said, I really wanted to go to college, and I would love to be able to do something like that. And she said, and I tried it, and I went to classes one day and I quit because I just felt like I couldn't do it. And I just felt like I just wanted to take her and hug her first off and say, yes, you can do this. You can. Maybe it's not going to work right now at this point in your life, but it will work if that is a desire of your heart. It is never too late to go back to school. It is never, ever, ever too late. I love nothing more than reading stories about people in their 70s and 80s that go back to school and get their degree. I just think it's giving me chills right now. I think that is just the most incredible, special thing ever. I love seeing women in Orange Theory that are running marathons in their 70s. And I realize that's not feasible for everybody, but dang, that's inspirational. I want to be that someday. So anyway, what was my point? My point was my why. I want to get out of my comfort zone, and I feel like the only way that I can share my gifts with the world is by doing this. And that is my deeper why, because that's the one, like right now, is making me tear up, because I know that I have to get past this. And my team is so amazing. Like, they know my struggles in this area, and they are so sweet to me, especially Lauren, my business manager. She's amazing. And she's my biggest cheerleader, and she always pushes me out of my comfort zone. And she knows, because she's an introvert too, so she totally understands how hard this is for me. And like, I struggle sometimes, and I see people that I came out of the gate with, and this is so silly, but it's so true. I see people that I came out of the gate with in blogging that have like absolutely blown past where I'm at right now. And that's not at all to say I don't appreciate where I am with my business, because I wake up with so much gratitude every single day. And I write in my prayer journal every single day about how much I appreciate this business and this community and this work that I get to do every single day. Yet I also know that not being as visible as I could have been over the past 6 years has probably hurt me a little bit. And so this is a super big challenge out of my comfort zone. And I'm sharing just all kinds of stuff with you guys today, but it's all good. So anyway, my how is what I'm doing right now. So I want to do more lives. I want to share more about my personal life like I'm doing right now. I want to share my stories with you. And maybe this is something that's going to resonate with you, and it's something that you're struggling with or going through. And I want to, just be out there a little bit more and be outside of my comfort zone. And if it's scaring the crap out of me, then I'm always on the right path with that. And if I feel like I'm super vulnerable, then I know that I'm doing the right thing. So My as if is I love being visible. I love it. I feel more connected than ever. And really, I think that's what it's about for me. It's about the connection and sharing. You know, I feel like God has given me a path in life, and the Rediscover Me Challenge enables me to share a lot of that path with you guys. And I think that, you know, just being able to share each day of this challenge with you and the exercises and all of this is really like part of my purpose. So I view GYPO as a whole as one of my big purposes in life, and being visible is a vehicle to be able to share that with you. So anyway, all right, so back to you. Shift the focus away from me. I would love to hear your goals. I want you guys to be sharing with me in our private Facebook group. If you're not in there yet, you can sign up at getyourprettyon.com/newyou. That's where you're going to be able to join the Facebook group and get in there and share your goals. But I really want you to share your deeper whys with all of us. If you feel comfortable doing that, of course, not everybody does. And maybe you have visibility issues like I do, and you're not comfortable doing that, and that's fine. You'll learn things from the others in the group too. But it's just a great place for us to have some accountability and some deeper discussions as well. But that's all I got for today. Hope you guys have an awesome Saturday. I am going to run out the door to Orange Theory, which is an awesome way to start my day. That was sarcasm. But anyway, again, sign up, getyourprettyon.com/newyou, join, or ask a friend to join you, share it in your mom's groups, whatever. I would love to see how many women we can impact together through this challenge. So I hope you guys have an awesome day. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. I'm going to be a little bit earlier because we are going to Aubrey's initiation brunch. So I'm excited about that. I'll probably be at 9 Central. So be sure to tune in then, or you can catch the replay at any time during the day. And we're going to talk about tolerations. I love tolerations. I'm so excited about it. I've been making my list up and I can't wait to share that with you guys. So have a great Saturday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.